something you want to do this year? There's a few things, actually. Something you've been putting off for a while now? There is, as it happens. It's not going to do itself. Guess I best get on with it then. Well, unless you expect me to do it for you. Would you mind? Well, that's not really the point I'm making. It's just I've got a lot on. Well, make the time. Difficult though, innit? Well, it depends on how badly you want to achieve something. It'd just be easier if you got me started, you know, that's all. It's a bit easier, innit? This really has not gone the way I envisioned. Hello and welcome back to my second proper video for the channel. As stated in the previous video, I intend to do one of these style videos a week and one progress style video. Continue to let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Now, this video I thought was a very good one to kick off the year with, because this video was directly inspired by filming the first video, that being the introduction video. What I mean by that is, I did not enjoy making that video. I didn't feel good at the time of making it, and by that I mean I wasn't actually feeling that confident or positive at all. I didn't like having to explain what I was doing, but I got the video done, and I was actually surprised when I got back and edited it all together and got it ready to go out, that it actually didn't look too bad, and I was actually quite happy with how it came out. And on continued thinking, overthinking that is, I kind of realised that in a way it kind of serves as a metaphor for some of the things I want to get across on this channel. Just get on with it. It's very easy to think about things and to come up with ideas to do things, and it's even easier not to do them. In a weird way, that intro video turned out to be exactly what was needed. I didn't want to do it, I didn't feel good about doing it, but it had to be done. I promised everybody I would put the video out on January the 1st, and that's exactly what I did. I think the title of the video is probably going to be The Journey of 1,000 Miles Starts with a Single Step. But that's the point, you've got to get going. There's no point just sitting around doing fuck all. You've actually got to get things started. One of the many things I've learned over the past couple of years is to stop overthinking things and just get on with stuff. The chances are, when you come up with an idea for something, it's not going to be fully formed. You might have a vague idea of what it is you want to do. You might have a very strong idea of how you want things to end up, the actual end result, but you might have no idea of how to get there. And this is where the danger happens, because quite often you can end up just putting yourself off. So the best thing to do is just start. Give it a life. The moment you start an idea, start to actualize an idea, you give it life. You create momentum. You're far more likely to work out problems and get more creative when you're actually already moving than when you're just sat there thinking. I think a lot of creative types have that old bullshit saying of, I'm waiting to be inspired. I'm waiting for a spark of inspiration. I'm waiting for the muse. Well, I've got news for you. The muse has got shit to do. I, the muse, must visit someone today. Who shall I visit? Shall I visit this hard-working person who's already doing something and give them a little inspiration? Or shall I do it to this fucking waster who's doing fuck all? Here's a secret I've learnt. The muse is not waiting for you. The muse has got things to do. The muse has got places to be. As hokey as it might sound, I think the muse is somewhat like the Force in Star Wars. It is actually all around us. It is everywhere, but we tap into the muse, not the other way round. The muse isn't going to visit us. And I believe that we tap into the muse by working, by actually doing something. Any of you out there who play a musical instrument or write your own songs or have done writing or artwork, whatever it may be, I'm sure all of you are familiar with that sort of time when it almost feels like you're not doing anything. Maybe your fingers aren't moving properly, but over time you kind of warm up and you feel better. And you start creating stuff, you start writing things, then all of a sudden things just kind of go off in a direction of their own, almost like somebody else is doing it. Now obviously there's all sorts of subconscious things going on here. If you spent any time learning how to play an instrument, then there's obviously a subconscious element that comes into that as well. It does almost feel like someone else has taken over, but you only get there by starting doing something in the first place. And I think the same is true for anything in life. Now, I actually have an example of this. Most of you will be aware of my music review channel. That's where you'll have come from. But the very first video I actually did was one of my positive mental attitude videos. And it happened by accident in many ways. Now, I'm actually going to show you that video after this to just give you an idea of what I'm talking about. A lot of you might have seen this already. I actually put 5 PMA videos on that channel over the course of a year or so. But I want to give you guys a bit of a backstory as to what happened in the video that you're about to see. I had spent a good month or so trying to do my own YouTube videos, and it kept coming back to music, and more specifically music reviews. And I did a load of videos which sadly I don't have anymore, because I'd happily show you them. They were terrible. They were absolutely awful. But I did the reviews in that typical way that a lot of reviewers do. And a lot of other reviewers are great at doing it this way, but I wasn't. I just sat there in my bedroom, camera pointed at me and a wall, and I just have a JPEG of an album sort of here. And then I would discuss the album and the components of the album and things about it. And it had zero energy. No energy whatsoever. It was terrible. As I said, I wish I still had some of them. I'd happily share them with you, because they were just, ugh, they were gross, they were terrible. I was confident that I'd get better, but there was still a part of me that thought, maybe I'm not supposed to be in front of a camera. Maybe I'm one of those terrible people. But something happened. I'm not going to go into the specifics, but one night I got into a very bad argument with somebody I love. And you know, the sort of thing, you hurl abuse at each other, say all sorts of foul things, some of it true and a lot of it not true, just to hurt the other person. Now, we actually went some way to making up on the same night, and the next morning we both texted each other just saying, look, I'm really sorry about last night, love you loads, love you too, all the rest of it. And it was made up, but I still had that anxious, nasty feeling, you know, when your heart just feels like somebody's squeezing it. So I woke up the next day feeling shit, on my own, on holiday, nothing to do, nowhere to go, and this sick feeling in the pit of my stomach. I just decided to go up the hill, this very hill here, and just go for a walk. A good way to get rid of anxiety, I think, is to match the heartbeat. You know, when your heart's just going da-da-da-da-da. Get out, get moving, rather than just sitting there and let it consume you. I got up the hill and I realised that I actually had my camera gear with me. I just started filming and I just started talking. I started off in the car, and then I moved out and I took the camera with me, and basically got something similar to what you're seeing now. And I didn't think about it, I just talked, and I got back and I was surprised that when I started editing it together, there was actually a video there. Now, this wasn't the first video that I put out. Something that actually came from that video was the format that I ended up using for my reviews, which is walking around, rambling on reviews. I find I think better when I'm walking. Something about the blood flow, the energy that you get from walking around and talking. I think better, I think faster. There was more energy. It was easier for me to put a bit of comedy into what I was doing. And it all stemmed from just starting. I didn't overthink anything, I just picked up the camera and started doing it. So the music review started. I finally had a format and I knew I could do it. And I started on that. I'm pleased to say that the music channel's doing very well. But I always wanted to do these PMA videos as well, and that's why you're watching this channel. Maybe I've gone on a bit too much here. If you're still watching, then good on you. But I'm going to show you the video now of what I came up with, that very first PMA video. A lot of you have probably seen this already, but maybe now you can re-watch it with the full context of what exactly was going on in my head when I filmed it. Because the overall thing I'm trying to say is, just start. Try not to overthink things, just get things going. You never know where it'll end up, because that one video that I did that one day led to, well, I've done over 140 videos at this point. If there's something you want to do this year, just start, just get going. You will work things out as you're going. Just start, give it life, give it momentum. You will come across obstacles in your path. That is going to happen, but the fact that you're already moving, it will make it easier for you to detour, get round them and get back on track some other way. Or maybe even the detour will lead to even better things. I've waffled on far too long. If there's something you want to do, just start, get on with it. Here's the first video I ever did. PMA, positive mental attitude. How do we get one? How do we keep it? Well, that's a difficult question. But it's important, and it's important that we have one. It gets us through life. And I've been thinking a lot about that lately. There's a lot of negativity out there. And it's important more than ever to be positive. And it's important to act out that positivity. It's important to put out that positivity. Because if you're positive, that can rub off on somebody else who will also be positive, and it spreads just like a virus, a positive virus. But if you're negative, it does exactly the same thing. So how do we keep a positive mental attitude? That's what I'm here to discover myself, because I'm trying to myself. So this video is the first in a series of videos I'm going to be doing about positive mental attitude. Self-accountability, philosophy, music, ideas, creativity, concepts, words, start something, do something, try something. Just do it. There are a lot of different factors to keeping a positive attitude to life. Things you can control and things you seemingly can't. I believe you can control your outlook to everything despite what happens. But over the next couple of videos I want to look at the things that you can definitely control. Diet, exercise, the company you keep, the type of media you expose yourself to, the books you read, the videos you watch. That shows my age. Videos, remember those? The music you listen to, or should I say the way the music makes you feel. I personally am a metalhead. A lot of people deem that as negative, but it's given me a lot of power in my life. So it's how it affects you and how you react to it. So I'm going to look at those, and then I'm going to start exploring the things that we seemingly can't control. But I believe if you work on the things you can control, that has a huge repercussion on how you handle the things you seemingly can't control. Transition, getting out in the open air. Now that's not a bad way to stay positive about things. Get away from the city for a while. Get away from being a faceless person. There's an etiquette to being out in the country. You see someone, you say hello, you smile, you give a little positive nod. That doesn't happen in the city. You just blend in, you're just another face. So put yourself in situations where you mean something, where you do matter. That's not a bad thing. If you say you're going to do something, do it. That'll build your self-esteem. I've been saying for years that I'm going to do a YouTube channel, or that I'm going to make videos. I've never done it, so now I'm doing it. And I'm going to continue doing it. And I'm going to see where it goes. Because you don't get anywhere in life by standing still. Hence movement. Jesus Christ. Now I'm guessing, even though I've had experience in the past of editing together videos and making videos, that this is going to be fairly rough, and that's fine. I think it was just important today to start something. Sometimes it just requires some effort. I think when you can waste a lot of time thinking about doing things and they never materialize, they never occur. Before you know it, another year's gone by and you haven't done anything. Well, with this today, I didn't plan this at all. I just took the camera out, decided to start filming and put something together. Follow the path. I have no idea where it's going to end up. I have no idea where it's going to lead, but I think it's important to give something life. When you start something, you give a life to it. You give energy, and that in turn brings creative ideas and concepts and ideas for other things, just through the process of starting something. So that's pretty positive. Like and subscribe. Now, I first heard the concept of PMA about 10 years ago. I was watching a documentary on the American hardcore punk scene called, appropriately enough, American Hardcore. And there was an interview in there with a guy called HR, who's the lead singer of the legendary band Bad Brains. Fantastic band from DC, Washington DC, incredibly influential. And he talked about how he would prescribe a book to his students, being kids in other bands, or just people who were looking for a positive outlook on life, or a means to go their own path, to make their own way. And the book he prescribed was called Think and Grow Rich, by a gentleman called Napoleon Hill. And I think that's an appropriate place to end this video, and a good place to start on the second video, exploring that book, what it talked about, and how you can apply it to your life and mine. So if you enjoyed this video, if you got anything out of it at all, if it piqued your interest, or you're just interested to see how a middle-aged grey man, oh dear, fares on the platform of YouTube, then like and subscribe, and stay tuned, because episode 2 will be up very soon, if not already. So, see you later. Like and subscribe.